Jeff Bartolino! Jeff Bartolino's in the house!
You're the best.
Everybody's trying to scare me out.
How we doing? Oh, let's not go there. Hey, I know I'm going to forget. Wendy talked about her Polish legs, and it's the night before her wedding, so, I mean, there's no better time to say. What does a Polish guy give his bride on their wedding night that's long and hard? His last name. Come on now, we knew that. Sheila, let's hear for Sheila. She was awesome. Her dogs, love it. What a hero. You don't want a dog to lick the balls, don't you? Because it can. That is why a dog, I'm setting the bar very low, and I'm sorry. And Megan, I need to interject here. Thankfully, it's a day before the wedding. You're from West Virginia? We're in North Carolina. If Michael is your brother, you are not allowed to get married. I don't know if you're aware. I just want to make sure we nip that in the bud. I am thrilled to be here. I really am. And thank you for Kindred. What a great event center. How many people are attending the wedding tomorrow? Show of hands. How many have forgotten to get a wedding gift? How many? How many are just going to settle for an Arby's gift certificate at the last minute? And you do what you need to do. So I'm here, first of all, I am not making this about me. Congratulations on the sobriety. That is an amazing story. Let's hear it again. And I'm not here to make this about me, but 283 days today without a drink. Well, sorry, not like in a row. I meant over my entire adult life. I don't have that kind of discipline. I mean, what do you think I am? I did the math for you. Don't worry. It's about 1 day without a drink every 3 months. That is as much as I can handle in this crazy world. No, I'm here to talk to the two of you, and I will be referring to you about relationships. It's a big deal. The night before a wedding. And it's important. And I know what you're thinking. Well, gee, Jeff, are you the best person to talk to us about relationships as you're about to get divorced for the second time? Yeah. Isn't that a little bit like hiring Stevie Wonder for tips about how to paint somebody's portrait? And I get it, you know? But I have learned lessons along the way, and I am going to share them with you if you are willing to hear them. Thank you very much. A few months ago, it was a wedding anniversary of me, 8 years since I got married. And, well, wow, I detected a little bit of anger in the audience on that. Yeah, that truly is a day I can never forget. And I have tried everything. I have tried drugs, alcohol, hypnosis. It just won't work. I'm giving you the best advice. Happy wife, happy life. Right? So right? My wife loved that so much, she came up with one for me. Happy husband, good luck with that. It really didn't have a ring to it, but we went with that. Don't listen to the naysayers about marriage, how bad marriage is. You probably heard this stuff. The shortest sentence in the English language is I am. The longest sentence is I do. Don't pay attention to that. No. A man who's single is not complete. When he's married, he's finished, and if he gets divorced, he's completely finished. Don't listen to that stuff. It doesn't apply. I am here to tell you, marriage is wonderful, and sex is a very important component about that. Wendy, she talked about sex, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit more. You've heard the lines, oh, the scientists have discovered a new food that completely kills a woman's sex drive. You know what that is. Okay. No, and that's wrong. We shouldn't be thinking no. We can't go there. That is just not right. It's wrong. But I'm here to tell you, you've got to work at the intimacy. Wendy mentioned spooning. There is not a man in the universe who says, boy, I really love spooning. No, we love forking. We would fork you all day, every day. We love forking. So, Michael, pay attention. Spooning without forking perfect. She will love it. Spooning after forking, perfectly acceptable. Forking without spooning will lead to a knifing. So I need you to remember that. Yeah. Another thing, pay attention to the signs you're getting from your partner. I violated that rule. My wife one day said, "Hey Jeff, how about 69 tonight?" I said, "We are not setting the thermostat that low. Have you seen our electric bill?" I wasn't paying attention. You don't want it to get boring and routine, so you got to mix it up a little bit. I arranged a threesome, and even though there were 2 no-shows, I still had a great time. She's into role playing, and I tell you what, she loves playing doctor. I'm the patient. Amazing 2 hours of sex. Well, if you include the hour 56 minutes I was in the waiting room, but still that. Those remaining 4 minutes were really something special. Look, I mean, hey, you're young. You got to take advantage of it before you get. When you address this, yes, as you get older, things just slow down in a lot of ways. I'm not in the best shape. She asked me, "Hey, do you want to go upstairs and have sex?" I said, "You're gonna have to pick one or the other. I can't do that." And I was lucky to have a spouse who was very sexually active into her 60s. It would have been nice if I was involved more of the time, but still. I finally went to Walmart and I got a kiddie drum set. At least something in my house was getting banged once in a while. It was awful. And the few times it happened, I was getting this horrible burning sensation in my eyes to the point I had to go see a doctor. And he said, "Jeff, it's a perfectly natural reaction to pepper spray." So it made me feel so much better. I should have figured that one out on my own. I just wasn't paying attention to the sign. There's no reason to be mean to each other. Communication is the key. You've got to talk to each other, talk through the problems. Thank you. I was a recipient of a lot of mean comments. I was getting my estate plan together. I told her I wanted to be cremated. She made an appointment for the next Wednesday. And that is I asked her, how can I make you happy in the bedroom? She said, "Try sleeping on the sofa." That is not, I know that. Not what I had in mind. I told her, "Look, we all make errors. You have to learn to embrace your mistakes." She came over and gave me a hug. And I didn't think that was appropriate. I'm going to try that one again. It was worth it. I don't care. She asked me, out of the blue, she said, "What would you do if I won the lottery?" And I said, "Well, I have to be honest. I'd take half the money and I'd move out." And she said, "Good, I just won $40. Here's the money, get the fuck out." And look, every guy here knows, man, you don't look like the type to do this, but one area, or maybe you are, I don't know. One area that's off limits is a certain part of his anatomy. You cannot make fun of that. You can't. My wife, I thought it was affectionate, had a nickname for mine, Justin, and then she eventually corrected me and said, "No, Jeff, the pronunciation is just in." And I didn't like that. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. I tried to be playful. We were at a dinner party. I whispered in her ear, "What do you say we get out of here, go home, and I'll slip you 8 inches?" And she said, "I don't think you could get it up 4 times." That was... You think that's funny? It's not that. Thank you, man. It's bad. It's bad. We had an argument one night. I got angry, and I shouldn't have said it. I said, "Life's a bitch, and so are you." She said, "Life's too short, and so's your dick." That is not. And look, it plays with your head. My self-esteem was shot, and I thought, I've got to read something, how to deal with this. I went to the library, and I said to the librarian, I said, look, I know there's a new book out. I don't remember the title, but it has to do with men who are feeling a little down about a certain part of their anatomy. And she said, no, I know which one you're talking about. And she's looking at her laptop, and she said, I don't know if it's in yet. I said, that's the name of the book. That's the name right there. But the joke was on her. I don't like to brag. My penis was once in the Guinness Book of Records. Well, until the librarian told me to take it out. But that... like 20 seconds of pure joy. It was awesome. Complaints, it's so easy to complain about things. You gotta talk it through. I started to get a lot of complaints about stupid stuff. She complained I didn't buy her flowers. I said, I didn't even know you sold flowers. She said I was too fixated on astronomy. I said, what planet are you from? Anyhow, what? I didn't like that one. Okay, I'll take that one out next time. Sorry. Oh, she said I didn't respect her privacy. At least that's what I read in her diary about me. And then when she said I was too un-American, I knew a divorce was a kilometer away. It was just a matter of time. What are you gonna do? I can't be positive. She might have been cheating on me. I really don't even know. I was trying to improve our lovemaking. I said, would you just tell me when you have an orgasm? And she said, I really don't want to bother you while you're at work. And I thought, started to put two together. It might have been more than one. I called her one night and said, I'll be there in 20 minutes. Put on something sexy, light some candles, wait for me in bed. She said, who is this? I didn't like that. I really didn't like the feel of that. Eventually I had to confront her and say, how many other men have you slept with? She said, none. They all managed to keep me awake all night. And that was, I know, don't say things like that. I was coming to the conclusion, she may have dropped more boxers than Mike Tyson. That is how yeah. I'm seeing applause in the back on that line. I'm not sure what that's for. But look, I have to take ownership of it. I said some really stupid things. Don't let your temper get the best of you. Just wait, go to a different room, calm down. I didn't do that. Now, in my defense, I did not have the best role models. I grew up in New Jersey, and I was a teen in the 70s in an Italian-American family. Italian men were not exactly the best role models how to treat women. Their idea of foreplay was wake up, bitch. That never survived the Me Too movement. Anybody here using that, you gotta get rid of that line right now.
I don't know, she likes it.
Would you like a rebuttal to that? I said a lot of dumb things. Sheriff's officer came to my door one day and said, Mr. Martin, I'm afraid it looks like your wife got hit by a truck. I said, no, I know that. I married her for her personality. And that was not, You see why I'm getting divorced, right? Man, oh man. Yeah. She asked me, she said, is it just me or is the cat getting fat? I said, no, it's just you. And I tried to salvage that, and I said, you shouldn't get mad if people call you fat. You're bigger than that. And that, I know. I didn't get it. I mean, come on. I was trying. She accused me of having two emotions, and that's it. You're either hungry or horny. I said, yeah, so if you see me without an erection, make me a sandwich. I mean, wouldn't you? No? Well, I'm not asking you, I'm asking him. And then the final straw, I don't mind sharing a little private medical information. I was dealing with an ED issue, and I came home from an appointment with the doctor, and I said, good news, don't need a shot, don't need pills, diet and exercise will take care of the problem. She said, great. I said, yeah, so when are you going to start the diet and exercise? She did not like that. There's so much food stuff I can say. It's really not right. So I have a little guide here. All right, and this is any single men here. I mean, it applies both genders, but I'm doing it really from a guy perspective. There are 3 requirements in the dating world. If you're looking for the right person, she has got to be hot, sane, and single. Now, Megan, I can see you're hot. Hope you don't mind me saying that, Michael. I know you're single, and from everything I've heard about you, you are sane. So let's hear it from Michael and Megan. He hit the jackpot. Look for you. Boom. Now I know what you're thinking, well, Jeff, why does the woman have to meet all 3 requirements? And I am going to tell you. If she's hot and sane, she's not going to be single. She's naked. If she's sane and single, there's a good chance she may not be hot. And then the most important one to you single men, if she's hot and single, oh, she is not going to be sane. So you got to stay with her. Let the buyer beware. And I'm going to end it with this, and this has been so much fun, and I appreciate it, the opportunity to be here. It really is all about perspective. We live in a crazy world, the stuff that's going on internationally, nationally, locally. It's just crazy. And you've got to try to find the good in everything, and that includes in a marriage. I mean, it's very easy to focus on things that may irritate you about her and vice versa, but think of all the good qualities that led you on this journey. So it's a glass half full approach. That's what I urge you to take. Those are my parting words. But it's not easy. Some people just can't do it. I know a guy doesn't have to work anymore. No household expenses. He works out every day. Sex 4 to 5 times a week. All his meals are prepared for him. Every time I talk to him, he just complains about being in prison. And that is why. So sad. He is getting better. He now tells people he lives in a gated community, and I think and maybe most important of all you Christians out there, he said he has finally learned to love Jesus. Or as his cellmate pronounces his name, Jesus. But still, it's very important. All right, that is my time. I'm Jeff Bartolino.
Another hand for Jeff.